Oh, all right. We're live
Wait.
on this terrific Tuesday.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So let's get right into let's get into it. What's good, people? It is Tuesday. Let me tag y'all first.
Yeah,
Wait.
please do that. Please, my dear.
Yeah. You guys will not believe what just happened to me.
Oh, okay. You sit back
Um,
and listen.
I'm like still like trying to get my nerves together. Like,
I hope it wasn't no car situation.
no.
Oh, a frog.
Jesus.
Figure it was one of them.
I wish. I wish. So this is why I look like this, like straight from the gym, straight to the house, like every Tuesday. So get to the house, get out my car, open the screen door. A snake.
Ooh.
A snake. A snake. So I called in the house to my son and I was like, Chad, whatever you do, do not open this door. Because sometimes Chad would like come meet me at the door, have the door open. Whatever you do, do not open this door. There's a snake right here by the door. So me freaking out, me trying to be calm, me freaking out, me trying to be calm. Here I'm taking deep breaths in and out, in and out. Get it together, girl. Get it together. Get it together, girl. Get it together. Got something. Took it, a broom, got it, swung the snake off the porch. Oh my God. My skin is crawling just by telling this freaking story. So get it, sweep it off. Tell Chad while I'm on the phone, still got the phone with my son. I'm like, okay, come outside. We getting ready to kill this thing. I don't know where it went, but I know it went up under the. I know it didn't went like on the pavement, the driveway. Like I swung it, and it kind of went up under the carpet thing, the mat or whatever. So yeah, I'm shaking just talking about it. I don't like stuff like that. Frogs, snakes, crickets, mosquitoes, tadpoles, whatever you call it. Anything that's crawling, anything that's not human. I'm kind of scared of y'all as well, humans. But I am afraid. Okay? Like literally. But tonight, I wish it was a frog. Then again, I don't know. They kind of go neck and neck. But yeah. So my son had his thing in his hand, this steel thing. And so I took it and I was like, son was like, Mom, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. You know, I'm like, I want that head. Let me get at it. So Chad took it from me and he started, bam, bam, we killed it.
So
You killed the serpent.
you, from what I heard in the story, your son had his thing in his hand and you wanted the head.
I hope they just didn't come into the story like that,
That's,
just Victor.
that's all you got from the story, huh? That's all you got.
I mean, if people just coming in, that's all they got.
It was a snake at the door. Yeah, like, yeah. My skin is crawling. I'm like, this is why I look like this. Straight from the gym. You know, normally I have time, come home, jump in the shower, get myself together on the show. Tonight, nothing. I had no time to do absolutely nothing.
Still look good.
Thank you, Fatim. Thank you so much.
Agreed.
Thank you, Victor. So yeah, that's a little bit why we're late. So yeah, I gotta get myself together because I was like in no shit. Like I'm breathing like like.
What happens when you see a big snake?
Is that turning y'all on?
I was gonna see if Vince can keep a straight face. What happened when you see the big snake? Ooh, wee. Okay. Damn. Oh, you jump out. Mm-hmm. No problem.
How big was the snake?
Don't make me spit out my
You sound like my dad. You know what I told him? It's a snake. I don't care how small. It's a snake. It probably was about that.
Oh, that's about 9 feet. Cause this right here is 8 inches.
To some, 9 feet, right?
This is 8 inches, baby.
That's 8 inches.
This is 8 inches.
Y'all know it. Y'all playing around.
No, we talking snakes.
Figuratively speaking.
That's what I'm talking about.
8 inches. 8 solid good inches right there.
Battery size. Double A. Battery size. 8 inches.
You know what?
Oh, Lord.
Good evening, folks.
Is the snake dead?
Yes.
You beat the snake. And stuff came out of the snake.
Oh.
Did you beat the snake? The stuff came out. That's all I needed to know. If you did, you did a good job.
I got that head.
Well, you beat the snake enough, Victor. Stuff will come out of it, Victor. You beat it right. She beat it right. Stuff will come out of it.
You did your job, sweetheart.
You did it. You took care of business. You beat that. So you beat it to it pop. She beat it to it pop.
So the snake went limp.
It went limp.
Sounds like a successful snake story to me.
What I sound like. Great job, Veronica. You took care of business.
She took care of a nice long snake.
Yeah.
Beat it to
stuff came out of it.
And it went
beat it to it pop. You good. You can't.
I just can't. I can't stand y'all. I can't be serious. I can't like.
But you know what? You know what's listening to your story. You handled the situation. You faced the fear. No one got hurt. So now, hopefully, you don't see another one.
Right.
But if you do, you will be maybe less afraid. Maybe not as much. But now what you have to do is prevent any more from coming up that close. I'm glad you came home when you did.
Right.
Versus you walking out the house and it coming in. So that whole scenario could have went wrong in so many different ways, and it didn't. And it did.
Coming in.
So many ways.
Yeah.
And it looked like it was trying to go up under the door. Oh Lord, that would have been a bad situation.
Ask John about his snake in the house situation.
Oh Lord, no. Whew, but yes, so I made it. Thank you, Jesus. I made it. Yes. All right. I think it was a deadly snake, Carol. The snake had the little triangles on the back. Right? Aren't those the
All snakes bite to me.
Yeah, I ain't messing with none of them. None of them. All right, so let's get this show started. Welcome to Tanky Tea of Life. This is where we talk about any and everything. I am your host, Veronica. Back with y'all tonight on this Tuesday. Vic White is back with us tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Also, we have Brother Fatine all the way from WBLS radio station, New York.
You know, before y'all go any further, I've always seen Fatine in a certain light. Never known for him to be a loser or support, losing things. But I'm looking at his hat. I'm looking at his sweatshirt. And I just thought he had a little bit more swag than to walk around with that on.
Gotta ride or die. You see, you can't be. You know what? I'm not making no excuses. We get out there year after year. Boys, how about them boys? How about them boys? And then the playoffs come, and we get bumped. We then haven't been to the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl in a while. So now we having a bad season. We can't go on. The internet is calm now. No, you don't hear no "we them boys" no more. And I think that for me, I take the good with the bad. I don't make no excuses. And if I'm a ride, I'm a ride. But I agree with what Victor's saying. I don't want to be that kind of person. We them boys when we win, and then when we lose and are getting a foot put up our butt that we can't recognize. So I'm a real. It's not about being real. It's just about representing. It's easy not to put this on, but I think I want to do that because I don't want to be that kind of person. We them boys. We got shut down, and I think sometime in adversity we have to take it on it. We got to take it straight up. Sometimes we have to do that in life. So I have to take it up. No, I have no excuses. Dallas sucks this year. They're not doing a good job, and there's no excuses on that. But I'm ride or die, so I put it on just to say I recognize. But you're right, Vic. But I got to take the good with the bad, and I don't want to just when it's good, we them boys. Well, it's bad, and I still represent. But we're having a tough season, and I got to lump that up. And kudos to. I mean, it's still time to go, but the team is not good. The team is not good. The team is not good. They're not going to make the playoff. Dak is out. He just got the highest paid money, and now he has a season-ending surgery schedule. And it is what it is, Shay, our sister Sharon team, the Commanders are doing a good job. They lost to the Steelers in a tight game, but
go Steelers!
That's Mr. John and Mr. Sammy team as well. Now, please.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I forgot about. I don't know John's team. I never discussed football with John, but Mr. Sammy, that is correct. Yes.
Well, there's still a chance. We still have a chance.
There is no chance. No, there is no chance. I know
mathematically they're not eliminated, but they just not playing good ball. I just don't see it, but things can happen. So we're watching.
Super rush, huh? Y'all have to run the table.
We got to run the table, and it's going to be hard to run the table with the schedule we got. It is what it is, but I just don't put it on when we them boys. And then same thing happens every year. I thought that this year we'll be humbled and then start winning, but unfortunately, it hasn't happened with Dak being out. But sometimes somebody else steps forward, when they have to step into that position. So let's see what happens. We'll see. But I'm gonna ride with them.
Go to sleep, Vern. Hi, everyone out there. Michael Keith, hello. Laura, Vern, Mike. Oh, Miss Carol, John. Hello, Miss Rainey, Tyrone. all of you out there watching. We appreciate each and every one. Tracy, Jessica, what's going on, everybody? We appreciate y'all for watching tonight. If y'all missed it, I told you about a snake story. But you know, you have to watch the replay for that. But that's why I look like this. I didn't have time to do anything when I left the gym. So straight here in the seat, getting the show going. Everybody feel good? How was your weekend?
My weekend, it was really good. They shut down my little poetry spot because something with the fire marshal, so I didn't get a chance to go this Wednesday. But you know, when they open back up, I plan on going back again.
Yes.
You got the bell. You handled that perfect. Glad that, Vic. Glad.
Thank you, Carol. Thank you so much.
Anything else on the weekend, Vic?
That's it, bro. Don't want to share. I mean, I had the kids. Don't want to share too much, you know. Oh, I will say this. Me and my kids are gonna go to Wingstop, and of course, the newness ain't wore out off yet. Even though I don't see what the big hype is, but I get it. So we decided to go to Chick-fil-A, and this lady walks past me. Won't say, you know, too much, but I'll let you do it. She didn't look like us. And my son had his hair in pigtails or whatever. And she walked by and she said, "Oh, that's a cute little girl, right?" And no one said anything. I just kind of glanced at her because, I mean, I guess at a distance or whatever you might think, but he was dressed in boy clothes, but whatever. And nobody said anything. And then she doubled down on it and said, "Sir, I said you got a cute daughter." I said, "Yeah." I pointed at my other two girls like, "Yeah, they are. These two right here." And she still didn't catch on to us. I just walked off. And I was like, hey, it's no point. I'm not even going to correct her because sometimes, you know, when you see people out and about and you give a compliment or something like that, your compliment may not be welcome or it may not be warranted. And I didn't want to correct her. I just turned around and just walked off.
That was probably the right thing for you to do.
I mean, I could have said, "No, it's a boy," and blah 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 blah. Happy birthday, Mr. Keith.
Yes, happy
celebrating
birthday.
65. But I didn't, you know. I'm not very approachable when I'm with my children. Let me just say that. So I wasn't really in a real big approachable mode at the moment. So we'll leave it there.
All right, Brother Fatine.
All right, so real quick, I'm gonna talk fast because I'm combined 2 weekends. I was off last Tuesday because we had to do a special election show for WBLS. So last weekend, not this weekend, but last weekend, you know, I went on that retreat with Dominique McFarlane of her organization Hello Again. And majority of those folks that went, if you saw the pictures I put on Facebook, majority of women. It was me and another guy that went with them, and then there was another brother named Corey that joined us that Saturday up there. But these women, especially kudos to Dominique, which is Sophie's cousin, have lost loved ones, and majority have lost kids. And they've been able to take a tragic situation and turn their pain into power and purpose. So we went to Tennessee, and you got to realize that the last hurricane that came through really did a job in Tennessee, but we were able to get there. Where we were not really affected by that. It just was a really therapeutic weekend for majority of the people there, and it was a good time. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Dominique McFarlane and the Hello Again organization for that. This past weekend, a great weekend. You know, I had to get up to New York for my radio station 50th anniversary party, where not party, it was a concert. Where it was our anniversary along with DJ Cassidy passed the mic. So from Charlie Wilson, Shaka Khan, Bobby Brown, SWV, Keisha Cole, Jaheim, Anthony Hamilton, October London, my man, Bishop Hezekiah Walker. I hung with him for about an hour, and then Coco from SWV came in and brought this cake that her mother bakes that she sent it to Bishop Hezekiah Walker. So we was all in there just shooting the breeze and had a great time. Then Saturday, and the young lady that comes on time to time, KC, which I call, we're friends, but we've never met in person. So we met in person. Her and her daughter took me out to eat and did that, and then got back home and took a shower, got dressed, and went to my cousin's 70th birthday party Saturday night. And then I was in the radio station Sunday, and got back home. So for the past 2 weekends, I've just been busy. They caught up with me today. So I worked, but I slept the rest of the half of the day. So great weekend. And hey, I see Michael Keith. Yeah, thank you, my brother. That concert was off the hook.
So let me back up and pick your brain for a second. I can recall a few times that I've asked, I said, well, for team, come hang out, and you always decline, which is, cool. But the one time you do something that I might have would have been interested in, you went to a retreat in Tennessee in the damn mountains with a bunch of women.
I did.
Listen. Even if you was 1,000,000 miles away, I can still feel you. Shit, I'd have drove.
It was not that type of party.
I would have turned it in that type of party. Listen, I understand. Listen, hey, that whole tragedy thing, that is great. I see what's her name? Dominique, right?
Yeah.
She has a great organization. I look from a distance because that is a very serious organization. That is a very serious tragedy that happens to them. Like you said, people have lost children, loved ones, spouses. I'm not taking away from that. Hey, bro, I think what you're doing is very good. What she's doing is very good. But you mean to tell me all that damn cootie cat running around the mountains? Cause I'm telling you, man,
we had a pool, heated pool, saunas on the deck, hot, heated, bathing suits. Yeah, it was really a good time.
The mount, I hope this wasn't your first time going to the mountains.
Yeah, I never been to Tennessee. I never been to the mountains. No,
I'm pretty sure you've been to other mountains.
Not really.
Gatlinburg, Sevierville is a untapped baby making place. Like you can't go there and not be in the mood. Like I don't see. And bro, you had all these yams and collard greens and
yams, baby. Yep.
All that day.
Fatigue.
I see you selfish. But it's okay because I've done the same thing too. I don't want nobody at my buffet.
That's right. You know how I roll.
Pray for me.
Yes.
Because I would have been there.
Absolutely gonna do it.
You got another one coming up.
Meow. I would have been purring like a motherfucker in that one. I'd have found I'd have bought me some Slim jeans or whatever. And I've been, hey, print out, cuz.
Gotcha. Yo, a lot of my female friends, I see nothing but a bunch of women with you for tea, but they know my MO. They know how I roll anyway. We had a great time. Always surrounding myself.
For all the right reasons, right? For tea.
Oh yeah, right reasons.
I mean, yeah, but I get it. But sometimes when you're in a setting like that, you can't help it. I mean, you're talking about, you dealing with all this and you have a retreat. I mean, you can't be sad all the time.
It wasn't no boohoo kind of thing. No. Oh yeah, no. It was good. Every day, the atmosphere was good. I mean, Dominique had a session that Saturday afternoon after we had brunch. That was kind of emotional because we specifically did that session. But other than that, no, we was not sitting around moaning and talking about this or that. It was a moment
to enjoy one another.
Yeah, we went out there and had a good time. They had wine, or we had wine and drinks and stuff like that. So was just a real good time. We did the session, which was emotional, but it was cleansing. It was therapeutic. But other than that, after that session, we went out to dinner, went out on the town. So it was really, really, really a great time.
I'd have came in there with my bottle of baby oil and my massage table, and I'd have rubbed feet, legs, back.
Well, we had a massage therapist. She corrected me instead of calling her masseuse.
Please.
Cynthia was there. Gave out massages.
Oh.
Never mind. I stay my black
guess you would-
ass in Florida. I'm cool.
Yeah,
I'm
Carol.
cool.
Sometimes you gotta keep it inclusive. You know.
Right.
You know. You gotta do it. Like
Hey, John, me and John, that damn Dodge Ram and that Silverado would have been burning up I-40, baby. 20 to 26 to 40, baby. Straight in there. Huh?
Go.
Would have looked like two missiles coming.
Right,
Oh
Carol.
Lord, Veronica, I want to ask you something after you tell us about your weekend.
Okay. I had a good weekend. You know, like I always say, my weekends are like my weeks, my days. They just go so fast, and just. But I can remember I did spend some time with my parents. So we spent some quality time together this weekend, and me too. I asked Dad to stop me by Wingstop. So we went by there. It was crazy. It was crazy busy. So I was like, oh, I'm going to just get on my phone and I'm going to order online. I'm make it go faster. I order online. You know what that thing told me when my receipt came? Your order will be ready in 54 minutes. What? That's like an hour wait. Are you kidding me? But thank goodness, it did not take that long. I ordered, went in, it wasn't ready. Went back to the car, went back in, stood there for a little minute, and it was ready. So I say like it was ready within 30 minutes. It was ready. But the people was in there, in and out, like standing all around there, Wingstop. Like it was crazy. But I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. If you go online and order, I don't know if they still have the deal going on, but if you order something, you can get a free chicken sandwich. Tell Veronica sent you.
I wanted some of them candy yams. That's the kind of free I wanted, but Fatine want a whole lot.
She's still on the yams. Yams, baby.
I'd have looked like secret squirrel coming in that motherfucking window.
My goodness.
Had a little mask on and up.
Oh Lord. El Kabong looking like him. Oh, El Kabong. Ain't it? El Kabang. Oh God. Let me stop. That's a weird
Take the wheel.
Yeah. So Veronica, you know, before we get into the show, and I don't know how you put a post up there talking about a bad hair day. You're a black Barbie. You got your hair natural. What is the issue? Our sisters wear our hair natural. We gotta uplift them that wear their hair natural. You look beautiful. You know,
Thank you.
look beautiful. You don't always have to be in braids. That it's natural.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much for team. But when I say bad hair day, it wasn't like I didn't take time and fluff it out, and how I wanted it to look. That's what I meant by bad. I love my natural hair. I do. But I'm gonna tell you, I miss my braids because my braids I could up and go. This, I do a little braid out, a little twist out or whatever. But braids, I just up and go. And besides, it's the best thing when it comes to me working out at the gym, which I do constantly. So having braids, I sweat out, and braids are just so convenient. But yeah, I mean, I love my natural hair.
Which one pull better?
I like the natural hair instead. Well, I'm not the one getting hair pulled, so that's her.
Definitely would be the natural hair.
Natural. I figured that the braids is not a great. So when I asked you that, since you put a post out there, I was like, "Where are you? You're not in front of Barnes and Noble, but you said you was at some kind of book place. So yeah. Where were you?"
I was at the Bible bookstore. The Bible. It's called I don't know if it's called the Bible Bookstore. It's called the Bible Store Outlet. That's it, the Bible Store Outlet. So I
Something
went.
special going on?
Well, that was my first time actually going there, and I was at another store in that location, and so when I drove by, I was like, oh, they got a lot of books out here, books on sale. So I was like, you know what? Let me kill some time because I had some time to kill before I went to McLeod Fitness for my class. So I was like, okay, I'll just kill some time. Let me walk up in here, so I was outside and just looking at the different books and just picking ones out that I want to bring home and read or whatever. So yeah, they have a great sale. And I told that lady in there that was working, I was like, this is my first time in here and I will be back again. Those will make some good Christmas gifts. I already know the ones on my Christmas list. Yeah, they're gonna be getting some good stuff. Victor and Fatim, I'm gonna buy y'all a Bible.
You ain't got to, because what I said, because I found out a little earlier what was up. It's interesting, and I want to say, and I saved it for the show, is that when you mentioned earlier that you was at the Bible store, and that was all we talked about, is that you reminded me of one of my daughter's teachers, Miss Watson. And I said, and y'all favor one another. Slim, she had a bigger backside than you, but
Wow.
Yeah, wow, yeah. So one Saturday, I was at the school for a function. So I called Hanifa and say, yo, me and Miss Watson is going to the Bible store. So we went to the Bible store and I picked up this. This is the King James version of the Bible. It's an African heritage version of the Bible. And I picked up my daughter's 2 Bibles as well. And you can see that in the book, you can see that the people in that region, which were people of color, I invested in this Bible. Now, Hanifa done marked this Bible up through quotes and stuff like that. But I purchased this and 2 Bibles for my daughters and a Bible case. Then we wound up going to DSW. That's the women's store up in New York. I don't know if they got DSWs down here. I don't see them. But I wind up, and this is what about being transparent. Because when I went there, I saw a pair of Timbs. And that was my birthday weekend. So Monday came, Hanifa took me back to DSW and bought those Timbs. See, so being transparent, I was hanging out with Miss Watson, everything. And she's like you, Veronica, a gorgeous sister, but everything is on the up and up. But when you talk about the Bible store, you ain't got to give me a Bible, girl. I got at least 2 Bibles in the house, and this is a holy Bible. I have another Bible that have the missing books, like the book of Enoch. That's not in this King James version, but I have another King James where it is in there, and a couple of other books that have been taken out the Bible. So I have that as well. But kudos to you. And I want to go to that Bible store and check it out. So
yeah, and they have an upstairs. That's what the girl was telling me. She was like, oh, when I was telling it was my first time there, she was like, yeah, you're going to have to go upstairs. She was like, I forgot what kind of books she was saying upstairs. She was like, if I love fiction. I forgot what kind of book she said, but she was like, it's a lot of them upstairs. But yeah, I'll definitely be back. I told her, I was like, I bet y'all be crazy busy during the holiday season. And she was like, yeah, it gets really crazy. So
Tyrone, I just want to respond to Tyrone. I'm not getting up to do this, but the apocryphal books, I have the apocryphal books. One of them here, Tyrone, it's in the closet. I have that as well. So yes, I'm deep into my studies. I don't talk about it, but I know the Bible, Old, New, Holy Quran, different languages and stuff like that. So I'm into it. I just don't preach it, but I teach it when I get the opportunity.
So, Veron, you said this wasn't there wasn't a grand opening or nothing, right?
No.
So, how long was you there for?
I'll say probably about a good 40 minutes, maybe.
And how many men did you see in there?
One.
Was he with a woman?
No.
So I've noticed that I can only speak from what I see here. The few times that I've watched Bible like a Bible store, because
Mhm.
there's a store next to another Bible store next to a store that I frequent, and I never see any dudes in there. And I started noticing that and the dudes that I do see in there, they may be with their wife, or in my mind, it's like they're going to buy something for someone else. I just find that kind of very interesting. To me, down here, it seems like women have a little bit more religion and they bring their partner into it versus
Mhm.
now, not speaking for all, because I know Tyrone is very religious. Well, excuse me, I should say very spiritual. And that was just something that I just always noticed.
Yeah.
Victor, I just want to say this real quick, and I'm dead serious, and I respect Brother Tyrone. So please don't confuse what I'm saying. I'm just telling you something that I think in life there comes a responsibility with something, and I'm not being funny with this, but I'm being truthful with this. So I got into my studies early on in my early 20s, and I'll be honest with you, the women that I came in contact with, and not only the knowledge that I gained from experience, but when I talk about book knowledge from college and stuff, when I got into religion, and then I could speak some Arabic and deal with Hebrew translations and stuff like that and explain the Bible, I noticed that a lot of women gravitated towards that. And I'll never forget saying to my cousin, and I said this to a couple of other people, when you get this kind of knowledge and responsibility, and Mr. Sammy would understand what I'm saying because we walk in that fraternity of the Masonic Brotherhood. You sometime can talk to, and I'm not being funny with this, talk the panties of a woman. That's why I said it becomes a responsibility. I'm telling you, when you got knowledge, you can use it for good, or you can use it for bad. And that's just about anything in life. You understand? But when you come into that type of knowledge, and when you're having a conversation, and when you're young and you can talk like your preacher and explain things that your preacher's not even telling you, it puts a woman in a different light, and it creates an attractiveness to you. So that's why I said it becomes a responsibility, because I noticed when I talk that talk, I noticed that a lot of women tend to open up and gravitate towards me. And at one time, I'll be honest with you, I was slightly leaning and taking advantage of that. And then one day I woke up and said, God's gonna strike me dead.
Darn right.
That's why I said I gotta, and I'm not a perfect person, but when it came to dealing with this here, because y'all don't even see me. This is on my table. I didn't go get this book before I came here. I have a lot of studies. I don't talk that here, but
Yeah.
I've been doing this honestly for a while. You understand what I'm saying? So I've sat with the Honorable Minister Farrakhan. I sat with Reverend Jesse Jackson. I work with Reverend Sharpton. So I've sat with a lot of leaders, a lot of religious people. There's other religious people that I've communicate with on a daily basis. So I take it serious, but I'm just telling you, in my 20s and in my oats, and it was real, y'all. I'm telling you. And I saw the attractiveness, and especially a lot of us brothers were wearing oil and stuff like that.
Ooh,
And we
smell
kept
good.
ourselves groomed and in shape. I'm
Mhm.
telling you, we became that, not the alpha man, but we became that man that a lot of women desired, because they wanted an intelligent man. They wanted a man that walked erect, was straight up, knew about himself, and knew that our sisters was our queens and respected like that. So that's why I said it's easy to get caught up, because you see certain pastors do certain things because of the challenges, the temptations out there. So I just really put that out there. So I'm kind of, Victor, you did open that door, and I went through that door because it's a reality out there, and I went through that,
So I
Well-
think, go ahead, V.
No, go ahead, Vic.
No, you go ahead, please.
No, I was just gonna say I'm glad that Fatine changed that. You said that you was on the verge of using that to
Go ahead.
get what you want. But I'm glad, because I feel like that's something serious. You can play with all the rest of the stuff, but when it comes to the Lord, don't play with it. Don't play with it. If you're trying to get some tail, get it by going another route and doing it. Don't play with it by using God. And because like you said, a lot of females, and me myself, like you talking God. Like, I know that's the person who's ahead of my life. You know what I'm saying? So when you talking about religion and you talk about what God did for you, and you know how God, you know, made a difference in your life and what he's doing, blah, 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 blah. Like, that's attractive to me because I know who you putting first in your life. You know what I'm saying? Don't use that to try to get in my panties. Because not only God knows and he sees all. Okay, so play with it if you want to. Go ahead, Victor.
So what I was gonna say is, for team, I know what you're talking about. Not from the level of, you know, using knowledge as a way to maybe open some of those doors, but to use the lack of knowledge also can open those doors as well. People find God in different ways, you know. I found it at an early age through my grandmother. And at one time I, you know, danced around a few churches, hunting for something better, and just never found, you know, nothing other than the home that I was raised in. But during my tour, so to speak, it is, I don't want to say, I don't want to use the wrong word. It just amazed me how many women, when you stand up in church and you tell them, you know, you visiting whatever, and you're looking for a home church, will open their homes to you that doggone fast just by some words. Now, I'm not playing with God, not by one means. But if you offer me something, I may take it. This has nothing to do with religion, spirituality, or nothing. If I come to your church and I say I'm looking for a home church, and you decide you want me to part the Red Sea, I'm gonna put my staff up and I'm gonna let my people go. Right there. Down the damn middle. I'm just saying.
And that's real talk. That's real talk. I mean, you know, and you know, I know we could add this in and that, but Victor, it's real, and sometimes we don't have this conversation. And I'm glad, and I'm kind of glad Victor said that, because it's the reality there. And like, I know one thing. Well, when I use the word I know, Victor, I don't know, but one thing I do say, I know Veronica doesn't play with God, and I know Victor doesn't play with God. Don't play with that. I do know that part. We don't really talk religion on here and God like that. But what he is saying, that we are human and there are the realities there. And this is human nature. And that's why I keep telling people, stop separating human nature from God and religion, because we're human and there are real emotions. We come from the Creator. God gave us will to choose between this and that, and we have emotions. You understand? So we love, we lust, and these are things and conversations that we need to have at times. You understand? And I think we have it in a more respectful, not joking way, even though John's putting a couple of things out there would make you laugh, from which I understand. But this is reality. And a lot of times we don't have these conversations. And then it looks like taboo when people think like this. This is real out here. Stop living in a fantasy world that you believe in God and that you walk or you live in a glass house. Because Jesus says, you know, those who have not sinned, throw the first stone. You understand? So a lot of people can't throw a stone. What we try to do is be better today than we were yesterday. But we're not perfect beings out there. And we need to treat life in the reality that it is. That's all I'll say. I don't want to get
that's true.
And Tyrone's right. The lines are being blurred. There's a difference between sexual attraction and being a predator in the name of the Almighty. And I totally agree with him on that. I think, you know, like Fatim talked about, if you see a man come up in church, this man ain't got no ring on. This man got his all on. He got his Bible. He's smelling good. He looking good. And he's standing there,
Mm.
and he's just there by himself. Somebody's going to be attracted to him because of whatever they think in their mind. They're going to come up in here and talk to him. And if he's smiling and kikiing and you get the kikiing back, there's a level of attraction. Now, if he's there under false pretense, that's something different.
Exactly.
But I'm not going to go somewhere and visit somebody's church and then turn into, you know what I'm saying, the Pope. That ain't happening. I ain't there to pray on nobody. But if you offer me a loaf of bread, I may doggone nibble on it. I'm just saying. It may happen.
And was I, and was I a predator? At one time I was. That's why I'm being honest. I was a predator. And, I remember when I woke up that morning and thought about it, nothing had happened. And I mentioned it to my cousin. And I was like, because he knew, he started to see, but he didn't say anything. And I said to him, I was like, dude, he knew because a couple of females he knew that he introduced me to and how they became attractive, and I understood that. I understand the law of attraction. You understand? So that's why when you stand up and stand erect, do the right thing, you can pull people, and just on the opposite side, when you got the guy from the street that dressed well, got the money, got a little flash, they got the charisma, people are attracted to that. The law of attraction, you got to understand the law of attraction. You understand the law of attraction because we say, why you deal with this guy? Why you deal with that guy? A lot of times, there's not a lot of difference between the pimp and the reverend. Not a lot of difference.
So what? I don't. Where do they think Pastor met First Lady at? Now, if Pastor met First Lady at the Bible retreat, was he being a predator then? No, he wasn't. Like you said, it's the law of attraction. If both of us meet at the Bible study and we get together and then we go off and have little Vicks and little whatever her name is, hey man, to me that's pure. Everybody came there. We just so happened to bump uglies a couple of times and now we together. Mm-hmm. Yeah, what it is now.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I can't, none of us are perfect. No one's perfect. We sin. We make mistakes. We look at folks in ways that we shouldn't look at folks. We may say things to folks that we shouldn't be saying to folks.
What better place to meet somebody than the church? What better place?
The gym.
Okay, the gym. But at least if you meet me in the church, I know we at least got something in common that we can sit here and discuss on Sundays. And I ain't got to worry about if we both Baptists, I already know how you get down. You should know how I get down. If we both Methodists and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But if I meet you in the gym and you holiness, you in there lifting, you on the treadmill with a damn skirt on, I don't want nothing to do with that. You got a jean skirt on and the little thing wrapped around your head.
With
you
Crocs.
on the treadmill, 100 miles. I'm good. I don't want none of that. That ain't my cup of tea. That's all I'm saying.
Tyrone says, I don't believe in making sex a bad thing because it's the first command. Or is not the first commandment. Because it is the first command. It's just the way you get it.
I mean, I understand what he's saying. And that's what I've always been saying. It's how you go about it. It's how you go about it. If you're being disrespectful and this, that, and other, being malicious with it, that's crazy because you're being disrespectful. But you're right. That's why I don't separate the two. That's why when we talk about relationships, don't separate sex. We talk about religion, don't separate sex. All of that is life, and it's about life. So let's deal with it in the conversation of life. I don't separate. Well, we're going to talk about relations, but let's keep sex out. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to have that conversation with you because if sex comes up, it's part of life. That's all to it. you know.
So John says, John, I didn't know you could sing.
Oh yeah.
John says, to be honest, there's been plenty of Sundays after leading songs I literally got to get to the truck because women have thrown bloomers to you. I never wanted to be the church. Ho-ha.
And John is right. And
Yeah,
that's why I
ho-ha.
said, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The difference, I won't use Teddy Pendergrass because that's an older artist. But if you take a R&B love artist and you take a person that's singing in the church, and he talk about the bloomers, the panties, the same effect that a man in the church sings and a man in the nightclub the night before sings to get the same reaction out of a woman. That's what I'm saying. It's the same reaction.
Ain't Marvin
Doing
Gaye-
two different things or saying two different things, but the same reaction, y'all.
ain't Marvin
Think
Gaye
about it.
in the church?
Yeah. And he did R&B, got the same results. Same
Both
results.
Both
There
places.
you go. So understand. That's why I said a lot. This is where I don't want to go, but that's where a lot of church folks forget about that and become holy rollers and forget where they came from and want to condemn those that's where they once were. So let's don't forget it, because like I said, there's not a lot of difference at times between the pimp and the reverend that's in the pulpit. Because just like you got a pimp in the street, in some churches, not all, Veronica, you got pimps in the pulpit. That's all to it. And we can't run from that. And those are those that should know better, but take advantage of those that don't know better.
Mhm. Oh, let me say to Victor and Miss Carol and all the ones out there, John, I'm not sure if you was in the military or not, but happy Veterans Day to all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We thank y'all for your service. Thank you. Thank you.
Vic.
Thank you.
Appreciate
We
it.
got a letter tonight?
Also, we do.
Okay.
And this is 9:07. Thank you, Rodney Sly. Hey, and Miss Jacqueline. Thank y'all so much for the stars. We appreciate y'all. Thank you, thank you. And you too could help support Tangy Tea of Life. And support us by sending us stars so that we can keep the show going right here on Facebook. Because on StreamYard tripping. They went up on their rates, and listen, we got to keep the show going. So y'all could do us a favor and help support by sending us stars. Thank you so much. We do have an email letter. And I'm not sure. Shout out to Sophie. Sophie was supposed to come on tonight, but something came up, and she said that she may still come on. So I'm not sure if she's still going. It is late in the game, but I sent her, the link and all that, so she may chime in. I'm not sure. No, John. ROTC does not count.
They get November the 12th.
Oh, that's ROTC Day.
Yeah, that's the day. That's the day.
Oh, that's the day. Oh, well, happy ROTC Day to all of you that was in the ROTC in high school. John, stop it. All right, so we do have.
That's exactly what happened.
No, it is not.
How you know? You
Because
on the live with us.
She told me what it is, and it's definitely not that. All right, this is to the men. I want all the men to come to the front row right now.
All right, let's get in the front row, Vic. We in the front row. We in the pew.
It's about to be some bullshit. That's what it's about to happen.
There you
know.
go.
You know what? I'm going to read it, but we kind of talk about this a lot on the show, and I think that's why they wrote what they wrote. But I'm going to get into it, and you can dig further into it. So it says, "Dear men, please understand that the desire." First of all, thank you all so much for watching Tangy Tea of Life. For those of you who are just joining us, this is where we talk about any and everything. Tangy Tea of Life every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Sponsored by Hip Hop Fitness with Veronica. All right. Dear men, please understand that the desire for honesty and clarity in relationships is what we women want and need. We often find ourselves questioning a man's true feelings as mixed signals and unclear intentions can lead to confusion and heartache. I hear you all say it often on the show, things like red flags, and we should know right offhand. In my book, that's BS. When you're unsure about your feelings for a woman, it's essential to communicate openly and honestly. Be upfront about your emotions, even if they are uncertain or are evolving. This transparency allows us to make informed decisions about our involvement in the relationship rather than being left to wonder and worry. Leading a woman on, whether intentionally or not, can be incredibly hurtful. It may cause us to develop feelings and invest emotionally in a relationship that you're not genuinely committed to. This can lead to feelings of betrayal, disappointment, and a sense of mistrust in future relationships. This is why it's so hard for me to trust any man at this point. Honestly, honesty doesn't mean you need to have every honesty doesn't mean you need to have everything figured out from the beginning. It's okay to express your uncertainty or the need for time to understand your feelings better. Did I read it right? It's okay to express your uncertainty or the need for time to understand your feelings better. Just keep the lines of communication open so we know where we stand and can adjust our expectations accordingly. So I urge you to be truthful about your feelings and intentions, even when it's difficult or uncomfortable. In doing so, you'll contribute to more authentic and respectful relationships with the women in your life. Men, when did this become okay to lead women on? I'm seeing a lot of this lately. Are you scared to be truthful? Do you only want to be sex partners? What is it? I'm not a man, so I'm not going to answer this first. I'm going to turn it over to Victor for team.
Victor?
So, from just listening to most of it, she's giving the man the power over her. That's just what I'm hearing. You're letting that man go ahead and he determines the relationship. You're taking zero accountability for anything that this man has done. Um, you want clarity, but when am I supposed to give you this clarity? If you want clarity of how I feel about you every day, it is going to change each and every day. My love for you may not change, but the way I view you may change. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, I can still love you and not like your ass. You may do something to me or say something to me, or it can be, I may think that you have done something to me, and I may react in a certain way, but that don't mean the relationship is over. So I get what she's saying. You want a clear definition in the beginning. But in the beginning, we just getting to know each other. You can't have your way in the beginning. You want this monogamous, straightforward man, but that is not it. Because how the hell am I supposed to know if I'm being honest with you, you giving me the same thing or reciprocating the same thing that I'm giving you? We don't know this. So then y'all play the victim role. Some of you play the victim role, and you were doing the same thing this man was doing. Texting people, going on multiple dates, not showing that, you know, pouring into this man as you claim you did. But I've always said, I don't want to talk to a woman about how she treated her ex. I want to talk to the ex on how she treated you. And I believe I'll get a better answer from him than her.
I think what Victor said is Victor and well said, Victor. And I think, please, what Victor said, I'm leaving on that table, like Thanksgiving. Whatever dishes we got, Victor dishes on that table. What I'm going to say is just adding. I'm not taking nothing away from what Victor said because I get it. I first of all say to the person that wrote the letter, thank you for writing the letter because this creates honest dialogue. I think that a lot of the things that you said in the letter is very interesting and very true. You want honesty, you want transparency, and that's what you want. Well, Victor, I'm glad that you said some of those things, so I don't have to repeat those things because they're on the table what Victor said. Because the same thing, if I'm being transparent and honest, in the back of my head, I'm hoping that you're doing the same thing. So Victor said that, so I don't need to cover that. And I think this opens up a good dialogue. We have been taught through, if it was direct instruction from the older folks or just looking at, we see the games that people play. And a lot of times we grow up and we play the same or similar games because this is how we learn. So you ask us, why do men do this and that? Because some of it is learned behavior. We get 21, 22, 32, 35 sometime. We have learned behavior. And as time goes on, hopefully you get wiser and through life. We don't just come out, go to school. We don't go to school about relationships. We go to school to learn about this and that. We don't learn about relationships. So we have a lot of learned behavior that we see. We see a lot of games played. We watch this. We're indoctrinated from music, television, movies, social media now. So this is a lot of learned behavior. So a lot of times we do things, sometimes it's in our subconscious and we do things subconsciously that sometimes we don't realize we're doing it. We think that's the way life is because life is a game. That's what's happening. So I think that if we more can be honest, and I'm thinking now, I'm older now, and I'm seeing young ladies, and I'll be honest with you, I heard from some young ladies, and my late wife said to me, we women, again, she don't speak for all women, but she was talking to me. She said, we want the truth, but some of us can't handle the truth. See, that's the problem. You want the truth, but you can't handle it. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when y'all come on here, some of y'all women in the chat, y'all ask us men why. When we tell you why, you want to dispute us. How you ask us a question, we tell you it, now you want to dispute us. That's another problem with y'all. Y'all want to dictate to us how we should act. So you want to know why we act like that, we tell you. Then the last thing, and I'll turn it over to Veronica, you said you're noticing today. This is not wrong, this is not an attack on you, but that shows the level of ignorance, not negative. Ignorance means lacking knowledge of. This has been going on since the beginning of time, sister. Ain't nothing really changed today that they wasn't doing yesterday. Roles have kind of changed. Women are making more money, this, that, and the other. What men kicked out back in the day, women couldn't dish it back out because they didn't have the job. They couldn't step out on their own. Now women can kick it back to men, or some women are moving like men more and openly about it. But when you say, I notice it today, sister, it's been going on from the beginning of the time. These games have been being played. And I'm telling you, I've heard you don't tell everything. I've heard women, I watched my mother and my aunts, you don't tell everything. When they got together, then I've been around my father and uncle, you don't tell everything. So this has been going on. So it ain't no difference now. What I do notice now, and I'm going to tell you this straight up, I notice young people do better at telling the truth than a lot of older people now. Because I talk to younger people, they tell you what's straight up. They tell you what's straight up. This is what I want. This is what I don't want. A lot of you oldest folks are caught up in your ways, got baggage, and still playing games because you've been hurt and you still got trauma on you and you're carrying that baggage. Younger people today, they tell you straight up, I don't want no relationship, but I want this. I want that. I don't want no sex, but I want oral. They tell you straight up now. They ain't playing games. So I appreciate the letter. I'm glad that we need to have this dialogue and open, honest conversation, because hopefully this will help us have better relationships moving forward.
Yeah. So I wrote down some stuff while you was talking, and you said it's learned behavior. Like learned behavior coming from not necessarily for some people, learned behavior come from their father. Learned behavior comes from an uncle. Learned behavior comes from someone that's important in your life, or just, by watching TV and the men that's leading roles and, you know, the roles that they play. Learned behavior. I get it. I feel like, and some of you may not agree, but I feel like they should have therapists in the school, you know, someone that can, like, I feel like a lot of stuff miss out from being in the school system. Because a lot of times we as children, we don't get what we need, all we need from at home. And when I say that, I had both parents in the household. I wasn't raised in a single household, but some things I just did not get from my parents because they wasn't taught it. So they couldn't teach me. I had to learn from other people, or, you know, I had to learn some things from the streets. You know what I'm saying? So I do feel like they should bring like topics like that in school where high educated people can, you know, like talk to these kids that's coming up, talk to them about, you know, relationships, talk to them about love and marriage, and you know what I'm saying? Like that way, a lot of time they won't just get it from the streets, like they'll get it from, and I get it, some of you still say that's still the street, but I'm just saying, like, also women, Fatine said women moving like men. Question to you both. Is it because we women have to? Because most of the men aren't stepping up like our fathers and grandfathers used to be? Do you think that's it? Why do you
Well, I mean, well, let me just let me explain what I say. Women moving like men, meaning that when women accuse us of playing games or not want to settle down and choose who they want to be with, lay with, get in a relationship with, women are controlling their destiny more now because they are more independent financially. They're more secure. They secure their home, their car. They can take care of their children. You understand? So they're not hitched on and relegated to be with a man per se. So some women move like men, where back in the day, women that didn't have a job and wasn't able to support themselves, and the family wouldn't support if they walked away from that man, is, well, you would hear from the family, a man is going to be a man. Now women don't have to take that. And some women are moving like men in the sense of how we move. That's what I mean. Some women are moving like
men. Victor, you have anything?
What he said is facts. I mean, you just had a woman run for president, which was unheard of 15, 20 years ago. You know, you look at some of your entertainers, you know, the whole Cardi B situation, you having sex with a man while you pregnant. Women didn't just do, well, it wasn't celebrated like it is right now. This whole independent movement that y'all have, the vagina monologues and all that shit, like, you guys are not grandma anymore. You saying that we ain't granddaddy, you ain't grandma. You as in the people who I'm talking about. If it sticks, then I threw it at you. So, you know, women want to be taken care of like grandmama was, then you need to start acting like grandmama. It is what it is.
Okay. I mean, that's true. I can't argue with that. Because I mean, the things that I see and hear and, you know, that women are doing out here is like, okay. That's just like, I'm not going to.
Well, I'll go there. I mean, for me, you know, it's interesting. You know, tonight, I'm not going to go too deep into it, but a young lady showed me something tonight, you know, and I didn't lose no respect for her because I understand how life is. Women have needs and desires out here. So, I mean, y'all can play into whatever it is, but you know what it is because I told y'all. But what I'm saying is I don't lose respect for her because I understand the nature of a woman. I've been understanding the nature of the woman when I was a young kid and watched certain people, females in my family and outside, how they moved, and then hear them talk. And when I went to college, I surrounded myself with females. I just didn't start being around women. I surrounded myself around females and didn't realize they talk just like us. Talk just like us. So I realized, so the sister that I'm pretty cool with showed me something tonight. I don't lose no respect for her because there's nothing different than how we men move. No difference.
I just, and I'm not judging anyone. It's
Mhm.
just,
It's not ladylike, huh? That's the problem. It's not ladylike. But remember, we're 2024. Younger people, this Gen Z they ain't grandma.
oh, so you're saying there's somebody young?
I mean, they're not a kid. They got kids. They got kids and they got grandkids.
Well,
but they ain't grandma.
Well, what I'll say is, what you're talking about, it would depend on me how far we into it. Now, if you start off with some shit like that, then I'm definitely gonna look at you as a 304. But if we moving forward and we done been together a few minutes or a few hours or whatever, I'm cool. Like I feel like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to look at you a little different if it's early.
Yeah.
And I hear what Victor's saying.
Yeah.
But I'm just telling you, and I'm using Sexy Red as just an example. Not an example, but Sexy Red mentality. That mentality now is different. And I'm not a kid, but the bottom line is me and Hanifa raised our daughters one way. And I'm blessed the way they carry themselves. I don't know every move they make and how they do certain things. Because me and my daughter had a conversation about some things about being my daughter, talked about me at my stage of the game dealing or how young women tend to gravitate to older men and the games they're playing. Me and my oldest daughter had this conversation on her birthday, driving in the car. And Hanifa's not here. So my daughter's grown. And some of the things she would say, Daddy, I got girlfriends that do ABC. She said, they try to get me to do it. That's just not who I am. This is real out here right now. And I'm telling you, this is going to affect our future. We're not broad brushing it, but I'm just saying, Victor is right. A lot of us want grandma. You understand? But we're not acting like granddad and vice versa. You understand? So that's what I'm telling you. And are we losing a generation? I don't know what the future holds. I can't predict that. I'm not a forecaster, but things are different out here. I'm telling you, a lot of these younger kids, not kids, but younger folks, they're not dealing with the high moral standards. They know right from wrong, but they just speak their mind, what they want, how they want it, and they tell it. And I think a lot of times older people beat around the bush. I've been with women that played coy, and then they come back and say, well, you didn't go after it. Well, you didn't seem like you want to be bothered with it. That's the games. Hell with that now. Just speak your mind. I want this, I want that, and this is what it is.
Well, see, and that's the thing. You keep saying the younger generation, and I get that. But I think Nicole has said something early on. And
wait, before you get that, wait a minute. So I want to touch on something he said. So the younger generation don't all follow Sexy Red. Sexy Red is just
they don't.
Pushed. And I get it. She's being pushed on us. But I like Sexy Red because Sexy Red is she's a portion. Not should say portion. Sexy Red is a figure that some women would play in the home, but you didn't see it. There's a lot of women that twerk home, that they go out in the streets and they don't act like that. Mm-hmm. Sexy Red is being portrayed as this is what young black girls act like all the time, which is not true. I know some older women who act like that, but they don't do that shit in public. So that's why I'm saying I like Sexy Red, but I like Sexy Red in these four walls. That's my thing.
Yeah.
Put that comment up there because Victor said, and then I'm gonna come because we both had a comment on that.
You can go first, bro.
So Nicole says 40 plus. And let me say this. I'm smacking this gum, y'all. I don't know if y'all heard the story at the beginning, but it's kind of like my nerves are bad right now. So I'm like really smacking this gum. So anywho, Nicole says 40 plus, you should know what you want. And when you meet that special person, you should know if she's the one. So just let her know if she's what you want. Just don't lead her on and waste her time. Excuse me, give her clarity.
Go
So,
ahead.
Nicole, the reason why Victor had made a comment, and I said I totally agree with Victor. Nicole, it sounds good that 40 plus. It's like you putting a age that when we get to a certain age, we should know this. Unfortunately, that's not how life is. Just like the broad brush, a lot of men that are 50 play games. It's your maturity, it's where you want to be in life. You can't just put an age on something and say, well, when you get 40, you should know. What do you mean you should know? People play. I know my friend 70 some years old, still chasing them.
Sit down.
So, so you may tell them to sit down, but that's what they want to do. Didn't y'all just say y'all want us to be honest? So don't put an age out there that we should know, because a lot of people do know what they want to do. And if they want to chase women, they're going to chase women. You can't lock us down at a certain age and say, this is how you're supposed to behave. I understand what you're saying, that kids play kids game, but when you become a man and a woman, you should both move like this and that. And that's good in fictional. But in reality, we all have means and desires, and we get into relationships. There's things that we like in a relationship, things we don't like. And yes, a responsible person say, I'm moving like this, that's them. But don't put an age limit on it because it sounds nice, because some people just don't never grow up. So don't put an age on that. That's what I'm saying. That's why I disagree with that.
So I disagree with her for after the 40 plus. She said, you should know when you want, you should know what you want. And when you meet that special person, you should know if she's the one. So just let her know if she's what you want. How the fuck am I supposed to know who's right? I'm batting fucking zero right now. If we talking about successful relationships that's ended in marriage, I'm batting a fucking zero. I've never been married before. So with to be honest with you, with my streak, I should fucking give up and then just play the field. But that's not what I want to do. So how in the hell am I supposed? And I'm Nicole, I'm just talking. I'm not talking at you. I'm just talking. How the hell am I supposed to know who's right and who's wrong for me? If I cannot go into the relationship the same way I went into the one before that one, the one before that one, and the one before that one. I have to go into each relationship more guarded than I did the previous one, because motherfuckers is tired of getting hurt or shit ended. You put 6, 8, 10 months, just as much pain and just as much suffering as you went through. A man has went through it too. Not saying every man, but a man has done it. So how am I supposed to know that you the right one? It's not the fact that I'm playing games. If I'm not moving as fast as you want me to move, then leave. But just as much clarity as you want, you need to give me the same clarity. You need to ask me from the beginning, Vic, what you want. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I want. Now, if I'm not moving at your timetable, then you need to peace be the fuck out. But I'm not going to sit here and move at your timetable, but you want to be treated like this lovely flower. Nah, if you want to take the lead, take the lead. Lead me to wherever it is you want to lead. And if I decide to get off, I'm going to decide to get off. But don't play this, and Nicole, I'm not directing this to you, but I'm just talking to your comment. Don't play this game that you want this man to be upfront, honest, and you this special one, whoop de whoop de whoop, and you want this, and this, but what the fuck he want? How you know that he looking at you the same way you looking at him, and vice versa?
Let me ask go ahead.
I feel like, and Nicole, let me know if I'm wrong. I'm just kind of, playing guessing at what you really mean. I feel like Nicole is not talking about getting into serious that first week or whatever. I think she means, after I've spoken to someone on the phone. I know from after that phone call whether or not I want to have another phone conversation with that person. If I go out with someone, I know if I want to go out on another date with that person or not. So I'm thinking she mean like in that arena, your first phone call, you would know like this person can't even hold a decent conversation. I'm not trying to talk to them no more. You go out to eat. Oh no, he chewing too loud in my ear. No, I don't want to deal with him no more. I think that's what she mean when she said
that's not what
know. Well, that's how I'm taking it. I feel like you know from the first phone call if you want to continue on having conversations with this person or not. That's my opinion. If not,
wait a minute.
If not, move on. I'm not gonna. If I know that I'm not interested in someone by one phone call or one date, I'm not going to continue talking to them. I'm not going to continue going out with them because I already know, no, that's not what I want. So I'm taking it. That's how she's talking about. Don't waste someone's time. If you know that you know that if you want to continue talking to someone or not.
Well, I just want to say this, and I know what Victor says. Victor says, and Veronica say very similar or almost the same thing. When they get into a relationship, Victor said he shuts down, and he this, that, and the other. Veronica says the same thing. And I look back at, again, it's the woman you get with. I've been married twice. My first wife and my late wife, two different people. My first wife, I really wasn't myself. I shut down who I was. I was a shell of myself. But when I got with Hanifa, and I grew. I'm in the entertainment world. That don't give me carte blanche to go and sleep with anybody, this, that, and the other. But by being in the entertainment world and the kind of woman Hanifa was, as long as no woman was disrespectful, and I wasn't disrespectful, she could deal with. She knew Fatine was a flirt. I was a flirt. I'm a flirt. That's how I am. I'm not disrespectful, but like little things. Vic, I hold the door. Hey, how you doing? Beautiful braids, my sister. You wearing that dress? That's that. Me and Hanifa's done that together to people. We've done that together. She's complimented women. I've complimented. We roll like that, and everybody's not her. But I knew what I wanted. I continued on with her. I continued on because she touched me in a way. This is somebody that I wanted to invest in. I love. I wanted to have my children, and we have two beautiful daughters from this relationship. But at the end of the day, I still had to allow her to still have be herself, and she'd allow me to be myself without being disrespectful to one another. That's how we move. I can't tell Victor how to move, and I will never say he's wrong or Veronica's wrong. But a lot of times, how we move, you want honesty. That's why I brought this up. You want honesty? So when we marry you or say we want to marry you, you think we're going to cut off all females. You want us to cut us all females. But if they were my friends, they've been my friends. If I'm not sleeping with them before I meet you, they were my friends, they're going to still be my friends. A lot of things want to change because you want to dictate how we move. Same thing with men. Men want to cut off their women, male friends. And I got that. But a lot of times we got to really deal with trust. Again, I can't tell other people how to move. You understand? But you want transparency and honesty. I'm not cutting off my female friends, especially if I'm not intimate with them. I'm not doing that. So you want transparency and honesty? Don't come dictating to me. If I'm moving like a man and you are moving like a woman, then you're going to have to respect me just like I respect you. Don't try to change me, and I'm not going to try to change you. But we got to know what we want, and you want honesty and transparency. I'm telling you, I'm not cutting off my female friends. And I don't expect you to cut off your male friends if we both are respectful with this.
I'm going to cut them motherfuckers off quick.
Well, you can, but and that's why I said Victor and Veronica that's why I separated myself, because I don't move like neither one of them.
And the reason I'm cutting them off is because if we going to build together, it's only going to be us two in this bed. Like neither one of them. And the reason I'm cutting them off is because if we going to build together. And the reason I say that is because there's only us two that can only make this work. And I get it. Everybody's different, and that's the reason why. So, Nicole, I do want to comment on she's I guess she gave a little bit more clarity, which it makes a little bit more sense now. She says by the age 40, you done been through enough life experiences. You coming from a healing zone in life, you know your preferences, so you just clarify you just clarify your relationship with this particular person. Don't confuse her if you're not interested. So she's basically, and I get what she's doing. I don't like to his her because it's she's not making a general statement, even though I like speaking general. But anyway, what I don't like is she said you're coming from a healing zone. So Nicole, just speaking of me, I can't heal from something by myself. I need help. So if I'm going into a relationship with someone, I may not be as bitter as I was, but I'm not going to be healed. I'm not going to therapy. I don't believe therapy helps not a soul. It just makes you feel better, in my opinion. The only way that I can heal is by someone else helping me and showing me that there is a better way, or you've been doing it wrong this whole time, bro. You need to be doing it this way. Let me help you through this. I cannot heal myself. I'm not Wolverine. I need bandages and all this other shit that you have. I need a female's compassion to help me over the hump where my heart got broken over here. So I don't get this. I want a healed man. I don't see how that's happening. I don't see how that is even possible from these eyes that I have. I don't see how that's possible for me to heal by myself.
One question, Victor. One question. I just got to zoom in on this and just explain this so I won't have to ask you this again. You said you don't believe in a therapist, but you believe in that you need someone to help you heal. Mm-hmm. What's the difference from a female therapist and a partner that's trying to help you and use the same tools to help you heal? Why not a therapist?
So the therapist, I don't know you and I don't trust you. So I'm not going to get in here and open up to you. I'm only going to open up to the person who I feel the most secure with. So if you have my heart and I have yours, I am going to open up. You're going to see unfiltered, raw emotions from me. My therapist, you're never going to be able to get that, because if I'm feeling a certain type of way, shit, I'm just going to get up and leave, or I'm going to go. I can't run. Like they say, you can't run from love. You can't, because it's going to always bring you back to that. I can't say that same person, but it's going to always bring you back to you have to deal with it. So there are some things that I deal with, but I'm not going to share that with somebody who I don't trust, because how can I sit here and say, well, Fatim, I'm going to just tell you everything that's bothering me. And then how can I trust you to keep my stuff sacred and that you're going to pretty much give me accurate advice? Only the person who I'm trying to build with and the person I'm trying to bond with, I think that they have my best interest. I'm going to pour in all of my emotions and feelings into them, because I feel like they're going to give me an honest answer to make us better.
So if I listen to everything you said, and I'm just looking at the therapist from the point of just giving you tools to help yourself, but I'm also looking at the person that you trust and open up. I listen to everything and I respect what you're saying. But what happens if your partner is not capable? By opening up and you trusting her, don't mean that she is capable. She has the tools to give you the steps that you need to heal. She may not, because you trust her, you gave your heart, don't mean that by you opening up to her that she has the tools to help you heal. That's what I'm saying.
So all, like you said it, you can put the same thing to the therapist. All therapists ain't good. All therapists don't have the tools to help me heal. So my thing is, just because you went through something don't mean that you can give me the right advice. But what I'm saying is, if I love this woman and I trust this woman and we are bonding like Nicole is talking about, there is no way that this woman's going to give me any kind of bad advice. And I will say this, if in her tool chest is for us to go see a therapist, and I love this woman, then that's what we doing. I may not pour into this therapist, but she may tell the therapist things that I might not say to the therapist. So I definitely don't believe in, going outside of my relationship with my relationship problems. I just don't believe in doing that shit. I've done it and shit didn't work. I went to a marriage counselor on my second engagement and that shit didn't fucking work. I think that was probably the reason why we ain't together right now. Because try to be honest, whatever she said is what she said. It didn't work.
Yeah. And Veronica, just one more thing real quick to Victor, and I don't, you can comment on this, Victor. And we did this a couple of weeks ago, and I'm so proud of you, brother. I'm really proud of you. And I don't know who got you to go to the poetry thing. I don't know if that was something in the back of your head. I never heard you talk about it, but I don't know. And but when you got and opened up about things that were inside, started to come out, I don't know if somebody led you there. And of course, anybody can lead you to the water. They can't make you drink. But you decided to open up. Somebody got you to the point or motivated you to say, you know what, let me go and pull from within. So that's how I look in life. Again, I don't know how it happened, so I can't speculate how that happened, but I'm just so glad it did happen. And that's how in life, sometimes we on here, we're not therapists, but you trust us, and I got that. So maybe somebody that you trust got you to go open up. But all I'm just saying is we need to sometimes self-reflect, and sometimes those doors come in different ways. But I understand what you're saying.
Well, I'm saying, bro, I write all the time. It's just the fact that I just at this moment, I just decided I jotted something down real quick, and kind of thought about it. But when I write, it may be a line or two here and there, just a basic, jot down a thought or whatever. But I actually had a bunch of thoughts that I actually thought about and put together. So, like I said, I write, but this time I actually formed a complete paragraph of thought. So I'm just saying.
And that is therapy. That's your way of healing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to talk to nobody who I ain't got no bond with. That shit just ain't happening. But I ain't knocking nobody for what they do. If somebody wants to go out there and do it, hey, by all means, just don't knock me for me saying that I don't want to do it. That's just my thing. To each his own. We all should keep each other's boundaries intact. That's all I'm saying.
Do you ever raise I just want to ask him, do you ever raise a red flag at the age you are? Like for me, I started to say at 27, I wanted to have kids. So I started to, in a mindset, trying to look for someone to get into a relationship, not just to pop out a kid. I wanted to look for a woman that was wholesome and so. And at your stage, are you looking for marriage? Just like Veronica talks about, being divorced and what she's looking for. Are you looking for marriage? Is it a red flag as you get older, or are you concerned, or it doesn't bother you that you may be single the rest of your life? I mean, what do you think?
I'll say this. So, I have a type. It's not a physical thing. It's more or less a mental thing. You have to be able to carry a sentence. Now, I'm not going to say marriage is a goal. And the reason I say that, because if I wanted to get married next year, I probably could. But I'm not going to rush into nothing unless I'm 100% sure on it. So it may take me a while, and it may not. The right person may say, all right, man, what you doing? And I might say, well, I got to lock this shit down. But I will say this. I had a conversation with somebody. At my age now, shit moves a little quicker than it did when I was in my 30s. Like, once I realized that you are someone of interest, I don't waste my time to try to, well, I'm going to call her Thursday. I get the number Tuesday, I'm going to call her Friday. And Nah, if I get your number Tuesday, motherfucker, I'm calling your punk ass Tuesday night. And if that's a conflict, I ain't the one. I'm not going to bombard you with a bunch of pressure, but I am going to let you know that, okay, this man is interested. I am going to do that. I am more persistent now about our time together versus, well, I'm going to the club tonight. I'm more susceptible for you to accompany me a lot quicker than what I was when I was younger. That way, I can see if we can coexist in places together a lot earlier than I would when I was younger. I'll say that.
And Fatin, going back to what you said, because I've been writing down some stuff as y'all been talking, but Fatin, going back to what you said about you getting in a relationship or a marriage and you're not cutting off friends. We know, we women, you men, you all know, we know when someone is your friend, and we know when someone is your friend. You know what I'm saying? So asking you to cut off a friend, I think that'll be kind of selfish, because if I'm friends with this guy, like we're really close friends, and you're asking me to not talk to him anymore because we're together, I feel like it's selfish. But what is really selfish if you have a friend that you know you're more than friends with, and you refuse to cut them off. That's selfish on your part.
I can, right. So since you added that extra part there, friends with benefits. Yeah, I think a friend with benefit, that should be a respectful thing, because I would cut that friend off with the benefits. Yeah, definitely. I definitely would, Hanifa became friends with one young lady that I was intimate with twice, like 2 years before I got with Hanifa, and I didn't lie to Hanifa about it, and they became good friends. Now, within those 2 years, never got back with this young lady, but we developed a very tight bond and a friendship. When Hanifa met her, they developed a bond, and then they communicated more than me and that young lady. But you're right, Veronica, I won't blur the lines. If that's a friend that came with benefits, then yes, that person needs to be cut off. I think that's a respectful thing. That's being hypocritical and disrespectful to say that as a friend, and you know deep down that you still was trying to sleep with her, or you can sleep with her. No, that's correct. I wouldn't be selfish, and I would want my partner the same thing. You had a guy with friend with benefits. I understand that. I got it. I know how that rolls. But I think that should be somebody that now should be cut off, because it blurs the lines.
I feel like in any relationship, you know who and who not to cut off if you want us to work. And I should know the same thing, vice versa. Like, I know there's just some people that you might not feel comfortable with. You may, and if I'm paying attention to my partner, you're going to drop subtle hints about little things. But at the same time, I'm going to have to respect you just like I want to be respected. I'm going to tell them, and they'll tell you, I'll get ghosts on your ass real quick. When I'm happy, I like to be happy with my person. I'm going to be happy over here. And then once we get to a space that we're comfortable and we can do little things together, then we start incorporating more people into our lives. But as far as something new, and, I'm not, like you said, well, I would say this, I'm not cutting nobody off in the beginning, but I am going to put some distance between us at some point in time. But
you normally do it at the beginning.
And Veronica, I just want to say this to Veronica and Victor, the people in the chat. Yeah, that there's a young, I'm going to use you as an example too, Veronica. There's a young lady down here that I met. She's married, very friendly, very nice. Nothing between us, but she's just very, very, very nice. And one day she was like, well, you can call me anytime. And I was like, nah, I haven't met your husband. So I'm not doing that. There's certain things as me as a person, I'm not going to do. I'm going to give you all a real example with Veronica. When I first met Veronica, I'm communicating with her. At the time, he was married, Veronica. He was married. And I remember, I never forgotten this, that I sent out a text or something on Facebook, and I addressed at the time your husband, and he responded because I know I'm communicating with a married woman. I didn't know your husband. I wasn't down here, but I want to give that man that respect. And a lot of us men know that women have men or husbands, and we're communicating them on business or whatever. I go out my way and say and pay respect. I've never forgotten that. I made a comment, and your husband made the comment back at that time because I did not feel comfortable that I could just communicate with you and not acknowledge him. And I've seen that other men say that they wish more men would do that, and they get disrespected, and it causes havoc in your relationship or other people's relationship. We know better than that. And something females do sometimes do that too. No, I got a woman, but you still want to communicate with me. You understand? Pay respect to my wife now. Pay respect to my woman. You understand what I'm saying? Or I'll make you pay respect. And if you can't, then I'll cut your ass off, friend or no friend.
If you want, the most attractive a man will ever be when he got a woman on his side.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Oh, baby. Oh, baby.
Because I'll tell you right now, soon as Vic start walking around here looking moisturized and he ain't asking no more, that's when y'all asses already want to come. But somebody done bought me this lotion. So take your little ass on some damn way.
Bye. Bye, boo. And that's going back to what Fatih was saying, where he asked you the question, like, what are your plans? Or, you know, when he said, are you planning on being single for the rest of your life? Like, I don't think no one is planning that. I don't care what people say. And I say this, I'm gonna say this again. The women that's out here and talking about they don't need no man, they don't want no man, please stop. Because we all want someone in our lives.
He's saying single. Now, there's a difference between being single and by marital status and being single by yourself.
Oh, which one are you talking about, Fatih?
I'm pretty sure he's talking about the marital status.
Are you talking about single?
What do you mean on what I was talking about, Victor?
Yeah, when you ask Victor, like, what is this? Do he plan on staying single?
I'm just saying, does it raise a red flag that, you know, Victor says at the stage he's in his early 40s.
Which single? You talking about single, like don't want to be married? Or are you talking about single, like
I mean marriage of status, because I don't think Victor. I mean, I heard him. He said that he eventually, if he meets the right person, he'll get married. But I'm saying at this stage of the game, at early 40s. Is there does in the back of your mind, do you wonder, will you meet that person to marry, or will you possibly continue on with life, not meeting a person and be a single man the rest of your life?
Single man.
A single man don't necessarily mean I ain't screwing nobody out here now. But what I'm saying is that I'm not going into this thing head first looking for sex. If I want some ass, I know I can get some. But what I'm saying is that is not a goal of mine to be single and be like that forever. That's not a goal. Nor is being married a goal. All I'm saying is that I don't want to rush into anything. But at the same time, I'm not going to play with you if I do think that you are a potential candidate. I may push some stuff along a little quicker.
But does it change your viewpoint? Like at 27, I didn't want to be really older to have children now. You understand? So now my goals started to change. I needed a person that I really want to invest in. So my goals became, I want someone in my life that I felt that I could build with and have children with. So it did become a goal. So that's why I asked you, not that marriage is a goal, but is it a point that you start to say, you know what, I'm gonna put a little bit more interest into seeing, because now maybe you don't put the interest in to trying to find that special one person. And sometimes you getting older, do you say, you know what, I think I'm gonna put a little bit more interest into finding that young place. I may start going to different places. I may not be looking for the woman. I
So-
might like the poetry thing. That's a new environment for you. You understand what I'm saying? That's how I'm saying.
So I say, when I was younger, I probably lived for the future a little bit more. I probably, when me and Tina was together, we had goals and plans. I mean, I teetered off of these goals and plans, but we was looking for a future. Now it's more like I'm planning for the week. You know what I'm saying? We have a good week here. We doing our things. I'm planning for the next week. And these weeks turn into months. And then if we go on a good track record, then I'm starting to plan further out. I'm not going into no relationship thinking that, oh man, she the one. I'm not doing no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking it very slowly, but I am moving a little quicker, if that makes sense.
I'm sorry. I was reading comments and I see where Tim Johnson says something about me. And I'm trying to find it here on the big screen.
He says, how you gonna tell us you know our friends' intentions better than us? That's delusional.
I know if you're screwing her or not, Tim.
No, you don't.
You don't.
No,
No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't.
I know if you, okay, let me say it like this. I know that if you and I was, friends at the time, we getting to know one another, and you didn't been talking, you didn't been telling me, yeah, I've been with, her, but we're really good friends now. You know what I'm saying? That's the one I'm talking about. Gotta go. If you already told me that you didn't been with this person, and now we're like really kicking it, and we're in a relationship and we're building, you think you getting ready to take her grocery shopping or something? No, I know that's the friend I'm talking about that has to go because you already saw her draws.
So I'll say this. I shouldn't have said you don't. I shouldn't say you don't. You don't know if that's a friend. You might not know everybody we screwing.
Exactly.
You might be right about that one. But
right.
If there's one, there's always two. When there's two, there are always three. So all I'm saying is I let me retract. You're right. You may know the one we screwing, but you might not have the right one that we screwing.
Right.
Let me say that.
Exactly.
I'll say that.
Taritha. I don't know if she's commented behind someone because I'm kind of late with these comments. Or Taritha said, many times we as women see the ulterior motives of other women that a man may be totally oblivious to. No need to keep that person in our triangle and in our lives at all. And see, and that's another thing. Now, Taritha, I'm going to have to agree with her when it comes to that part about we see other women's motives when you all don't, because it's quite a few men, and I'm not saying that we, had, dealings like that or anything, but when we say something to you all about another female and it turns out to be true, we always look at y'all and say, didn't I tell you that? Yeah, I told you that, but you all sometimes tend to have a blind eye where you don't want to see things the way that we see it. I feel like we as women, we know other women better than you do because we are females and we know how some females roll in their attentions. And a lot of times you men, y'all do, like I say, be blind-eyed by what we telling y'all. Like, I know this girl like you. And kind of find out, yeah, she did. I was trying to tell you that by the things that she was doing and by the things that she was saying to you, but you swearing down. No, that's just her. That's just how she is. No.
You don't think we know that?
Thank you, Victor. We know that.
We know
that.
I'm saying some of y'all pretend like you. I say pretend, like some of y'all pretend like, because when we make those comments, you be like, no, she ain't like that. She just,
You know that.
when you know.
But you go along with that bullshit. I shouldn't say you. Y'all go along with that bullshit. Y'all being the ones that fall for it, so we can continue to play. We're not stupid. A man know when he getting flirted with. He know. And for me to sit up in here, you should be mad because I'm trying to insult your damn intelligence. It's right in front of your face, and you should be pissed off that I'm sitting here lying to you, but you continue. Oh shit, this shit worked. You need to stop seeing her. You need to, man, that girl don't like me like that. Well, I'm just telling you what she's saying. That's the green light for me to keep hanging with her until I run out.
I want to say that, you know, I give Teresa and Veronica that y'all are right with some, but I'm right there with Victor that we do know this. It's not that we turn. Sometimes we are naive. You got to realize some men are just sometimes we are naive. Sometimes men just they slow. Some men are slow and wet behind the ears. Us men that have been out there, we ain't stupid. Like Victor said, we ain't dumb. We know what the hell's going on. So when you tell us, we know. We pretty much know this woman is like. Again, I'll say this here. I'm being a little transparent tonight. I've been down here, you know, and besides one friend that I knew years ago that don't even live in Florence, that I got tons of female friends down here. And they're friends. They're friends. Some may flirt a little bit more here and there, but they're friends. I'm not stupid that some of them I can sleep with. I know I can. But it's my choice. I'm a grown man. I'm a grown man just like they're grown women. So if we make that choice, we make that choice. But, you know, what you're saying, it fits sometimes the truth because some are naive and some want to deny that because they want to keep that person in their life. But like Victor said, on the other hand, the us that do know, we know. We know.
Hey, bro, it's the third part of that. Some
What's
of y'all
that?
are fucking wrong. You're wrong.
That's true. And some of you are wrong. So that's why I'm saying I give y'all credit being right on some, but there's the third. And I forgot because that was in the back of my head. That you are wrong. That you are wrong. You understand? I understand a woman's intuition, and that, Veronica, I can't take away from you saying a woman knowing another woman better. I'm never going to take that way because that's that intuition, just like us men. We know. I watch that man. Oh, Fatih, stop that, man. John ain't thinking about me. Shit. Okay?
Man, ain't it?
Oh, here, there you go. See, that's why I deal with it like Victor said. I don't run from that. I'm attracted to women. And when I draw the line, I draw the line. If I didn't move on that woman before I met you, and I had ample time, lived by myself, and didn't move on it, and I say she a friend, even if she's flirtatious, but the bottom line is her flirtation cannot be disrespectful now to you, or I will cut her off. I don't need you to come to me because I will put her in her place. And if she don't want to get in her place, I'll cut her ass off. I don't need you to tell me to cut her off because I know I ain't going to have that woman disrespect you. You my queen.
And me personally, don't tell me to cut somebody off because that's going to be a reason for me not to cut them damn off. Let me make that decision, or you can make a suggestion and let the idea form into mine. Y'all know how to be real kind of catty by putting ideas into our head. Let me make that decision on cutting her off. Don't just tell me, oh, you gonna stop seeing her, and then that becomes a whole different conversation.
What does Nicole, what do you mean? I need to know what you mean. So then why do men continue to talk to these females if you're in a possible relationship with someone? Could you explain what these females, because like I said, if I'm in a relationship and I got friends, I'm going to communicate with them, not cutting them off. So what do you mean? You got to explain, what do you mean these women, these females? What do you mean? Is these females that we have, they're friends with benefits, like Veronica already brought that up. If they're friends with benefits, then when the men continue to talk with them, they want to keep them in their life. I think that is disrespectful, especially if it's friends with benefits and it can go that way or whatever. But I just need to know, what do you mean, these females? Because I just don't believe in, cutting off people. At one time in my 20s, I did believe in that, because I'll be honest with you, we still were wet behind our ears. But I think as you get older and wiser, you should be able to make better decisions. Don't mean because you're older, when you get the address, don't mean you will make those right decisions.
Well, here's Doretha right behind her, and Doretha says, so if you know that the women friends flirt with you, why even have that temptation around you and your mate? It's very disrespectful for you to have her around your mate when you know that she wants you. Games like that is what makes no sense as grown men and women.
So there's a picture that I put up with a female that I was with Friday night. Her name is September. I put it out there. She lived in my building, 3rd floor, flirted. When Hanifa came into my life, that stopped. I'm in a relationship now. And what did this young lady do? This one on the 3rd floor? She met Hanifa and they became cool. So you're right. If the woman is going to be disrespectful, you cut them off. But there's a lot of playful energy out there that we don't move on. And if we didn't move on it, and then we get someone in our life and we tell that person, listen, I got so-and-so in my life now, that playful energy got to cease. And if they stop, they stop. And then that's cool. If they don't, they're gone. We're not arguing to bring wrong into our relationship.
So Miss Doretha, understand sometimes how that young guy at your job make you feel young. That lady that flirting with me make me feel special. Just like you like compliments, men love them too. And if you're not giving them at the house, you damn right I want to hear every now and then, whatever it is that she's saying to me to put a smile on my face. That's why one reason why I always say, if I ain't made you smile, my woman smile at home, I'm definitely not gonna make another woman smile in the street. So you have to take care of home. Y'all want compliments? You got to understand, we human. The same shit you like, I like too. I may not respond to it the same way that you do, but I like shit like that too. I want to say this, what Tyrone said, and I'm sorry, bro. You said this and this made sense. He says, having sex makes it easy for folks to become easily offended because it brings the thought of control. And I 100% agree with you. Once we start having sex, all of a sudden, all these rules start coming out from the both of us.
Yeah, that's
from
true.
the both of us.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I agree with that. And there's a young lady that I met maybe a couple of months ago, and I don't know if she's playing or not, but she asks certain little things. And my friend KC said, well, Fatine, she's trying to claim her territory. And I said, I understand that. I look at it slightly playful, but I tell the young lady, we're not in a relationship. You ain't got no dibs to asking me them kind of questions. I'll tell you the truth, because I ain't got nothing to hide. I'm not starting off with some BS. You understand? But I agree with what y'all said, but Nicole did respond back. She said, females who you have dealt with or females with benefits. So again, Nicole, females with benefits cut off. Females I dealt with, I've had females I've dealt with when I got with Hanifa. These were women that I dealt with years prior, and they're really good friends. Some went on to get married, some were in relationships, and some wasn't. And once I was transparent and Hanifa met them and we were cool, you got to realize people that we dealt with, we move on from there. We move on from there. And even though you may have a special love for them in your heart, if you move on and you ain't dealing with them, then, I think it just comes down to judgment. It comes down to judgment and how people move and how people act. So it comes up to the individual. Some people can't deal with their mate dealing with somebody that they dealt with in the past. They can't. My ex-wife, her new husband, we were cool. We played softball against each other. We didn't hang out, but he drove bus. We talked. Again, we didn't hang out. But if he'd have told her to cut me off, like I communicated with her, he'd have told her, I wouldn't have got offended because that's their life. Whatever worked for them, they got to make it work for them. You understand? But he was cool with me. We talked. I mean, we just no hi and bye. We would talk, you know. So
All right.
life happens, man. People get with people that you've been with, and then they move on. You understand? So.
Well, we want to thank this female for the letter. Y'all want to give closing thoughts? I'll leave that to the men for Ting.
Okay, so I let me just say to the young lady, you want transparency and honesty, and I'm gonna read something here, and let's see where this goes. I kind of put something down here real quick. I'm gonna do one of Victor. This ain't poetry though. Honesty and transparency are pillars we men are often asked to bring into relationships, and rightfully so. But as we bring our truths to the table, it's also worth asking if every truth is one that can be truly embraced. For relationships to thrive, it takes both courage to reveal and strength to receive. So let's keep pushing the openness on both sides. And remember, handling the truth is a partnership, one that grows stronger when both people are ready for the realness that comes with it. So that's basically what I'm saying. That's the advice I gave to that young lady. You got to be able to receive it as you be able to give it. So those are my final words. Vic?
It sounds like to me, when she meets somebody and whatever, sounds like to me you're looking for this person to fail in the beginning. Everyone's not going to treat you the same way, but everyone has similar habits. So just because this guy didn't call you on a Friday night don't necessarily mean he doing something he ain't got no business doing, or you will be out. There has to be a level of trust at some point in time in a relationship. You want guys to be clear with you, but just make sure sometimes clarity is not always in words, it's in damn actions. So if you can see this guy is doing one thing and saying something different, right there, you should know this may not be the situation for you. And I'm just leave it at that.
True. And Tyrone made a great point when just read this when he said, listen to what people say and don't read between the lines. Because that's what we do most of the time. We read between the lines instead of like actually listening to what they're telling us.
But that's a good point, but it works opposite. People say things and want you to read between them. That's the problem.
Of course.
That's the problem. That's where the confusion caught.
But you know what? That's called living in the gray. And we love living in the gray because I can say some shit and I'm going to look to see where it stick. Because if you love it, oh shit, I just said something magical. Motherfuckers love living in the gray. Baby, you was thinking about me, or I might say something crazy, but you took it another way. I'm like, oh shit, I got away with that. Oh man, I'm cool. Yeah, that's exactly what I meant.
Yeah.
But the whole time that ain't even what I said. And Nicole says she wants to hear it from his mouth. She may listen. There's a man out there that'll tell you exactly what you want to hear.
Yep.
And if this man out here ain't saying what you want to hear, leave his ass. That's what you want to do anyway.
Bye. All right. On that note, thank you, young lady, for writing this letter. It was a great letter, for a great conversation. So that was really good. Thank you so much, and we hope that our brothers Victor and Brother Teen and the brothers in the comments, hopefully they help you out a little. And
one more thing, Veronica. I'm sorry to cut you off, and I try not to do that much. just real quick. A lot of times we don't tell the truth because we're scared or don't want to lose what we're trying to get. That's why we don't tell the truth.
Facts.
Mm.
Sorry, I had to add that. That was gnawing at me.
No, you good. I forgot what I was getting ready to say.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It was a final thought, but I forgot. But anywho, thank y'all so much. We appreciate y'all for watching tonight. We appreciate all of your comments when coming through. I know we didn't get to all of them. We apologize. We'll go back through and at some point between now and Tuesday, hopefully, and read some of the comments. But thank y'all again. We appreciate y'all each and every Tuesday. Each and every Tuesday, 8 p.m. right here on Facebook and also live on YouTube. Craziness went down tonight before the show, so I'm still trying to. But anywho, thank y'all so much. If you would like to be a guest, if you have an email letter, if you have a topic suggestion, please send it to tangyteaoflife@gmail.com. Brother Fatine, all the way from WBLS radio station. Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate you. Vic White, appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank y'all so much. We really appreciate all of you for tuning in. Have a great rest of your week. Love upon one another. Live this thing called life to the fullest and appreciate every second of it. All right. Enjoy the week. Enjoy your weekend. Until next time. God bless. See you guys later. Good night.
And there's noches, and you need to have a Ving Rings at your house that you could cuddle up with tonight. You wouldn't be so scared.
A what?
A Ving Rings from Baby Boy. Have that man that you can just go and cuddle up with. He can hold you tight tonight and give you that security. You wouldn't be snapping that gum as hard as you snapping it right now.
He might be over there waiting for me right now. What up, baby?
I hope he is. Calm your nerves.
Because if he was waiting, he should have killed that damn snake.
He just got here.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, all right. I had to do that. I'm sorry. Buenas noches.